Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Mind. I'm Rihanna.
And I'm Smith. It's great to see you all again today.
Today, we have a really wonderful topic for you. We're going to learn how to talk about your family in English. This is such an important topic because talking about family is one of the most common conversations you'll have in English.
Absolutely. When you meet new people, when you're at work, when you're traveling, or even when you're chatting with friends online, people always ask about your family. So, knowing how to describe your family members and talk about them confidently is really essential.
Yes, and family is such a warm topic. It helps you connect with people. When you share about your family, you're sharing a part of yourself, and that makes conversations more meaningful and personal.
That's so true. And before we dive deep into today's lesson, we want to ask you for a little favor. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give this video a like. It really helps us reach more English learners like you.
Yes, please. And while you're watching, think about your own family. We'll ask you a question at the end, and we'd love for you to leave your answer in the comments section. It's a great way to practice your English writing, too.
And if you're new to the English Mind, welcome. We'd love for you to subscribe to our channel. We create lessons like this every week to help you improve your English in a natural and easy way.
And to all our wonderful subscribers who keep coming back, thank you so much. You're the reason we do this. Your support means everything to us.
All right, now let's get into today's lesson. Rihanna, why don't you start by talking about the most basic family vocabulary?
Perfect. So let's begin with the immediate family. Your immediate family means the people you live with or your closest relatives. This usually includes your parents, your siblings, and sometimes your children if you have any.
Right, so let's break this down. Your parents are your mother and father. We can also say mom and dad in informal situations. For example, I might say, my mom loves gardening, or my dad works as an engineer.
Exactly. And then we have siblings. Siblings are your brothers and sisters. If you have a brother, he's your sibling. If you have a sister, she's also your sibling. The word sibling is just a general term for both.
And here's something interesting. If you're the oldest child in your family, you can say, I'm the oldest sibling, or I'm the eldest in my family. If you're the youngest, you say, I'm the youngest sibling, or I'm the baby of the family.
Oh, that's a nice expression. The baby of the family means the youngest child. It sounds cute, doesn't it? For example, my little sister is the baby of the family. Everyone spoils her.
That's a great example. Now, let me tell you a little story to make this clear. Imagine you meet someone new at a coffee shop. They might ask you, do you have any siblings? You could answer, yes, I have one older brother and one younger sister.
Perfect example. And notice how Smith said older and younger? We use these words to show age. Older means someone who was born before you. Younger means someone who was born after you.
Exactly. So I could say, my older brother is 28 years old. He's 3 years older than me. My younger sister is 22. She's 3 years younger than me.
Beautiful. Now let's talk about extended family. Extended family means relatives who are not your immediate family. This includes your grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and so on.
Right. So your grandparents are your mother's parents and your father's parents. We call your mother's mother your grandmother and your father's father your grandfather. Same with your father's side.
And we have sweet informal names for grandparents too. Many people say grandma and grandpa, or granny and granddad, or even nana and papa. These are all loving terms for grandparents.
I love those terms. They sound so warm. For example, my grandma makes the best cookies. Or my grandpa tells amazing stories about his childhood.
Aw, that's lovely. Now, let's talk about aunts and uncles. Your aunt is your mother's sister or your father's sister. Your uncle is your mother's brother or your father's brother.
And here's something useful. When your aunt or uncle gets married, their husband or wife also becomes your aunt or uncle. So if my mother's brother marries a woman named Sarah, Sarah becomes my aunt too, even though she's not related to me by blood.
That's right. We call that related by marriage or in laws. Speaking of in laws, let's talk about that. When you get married, your husband's or wife's family becomes your in laws.
Yes, so if I get married, my wife's mother becomes my mother in law, and her father becomes my father in law, and to them, I'm their son in law.
Exactly. And if you're a woman who gets married, you become a daughter in law to your husband's parents. These terms are really important, especially in conversations about family relationships.
Now, let's talk about cousins. Your cousins are the children of your aunts and uncles. For example, if my uncle has a son, that son is my cousin.
Right. And here's a fun cultural note. In many English speaking countries, cousins are very important. People often spend holidays with their cousins, grow up playing with them, and stay close throughout their lives.
That's true. I have many fond memories with my cousins. We used to have big family gatherings during Christmas and summer vacations. Let me share a quick story. When I was 10 years old, my cousin Jake and I decided to build a treehouse in my grandmother's backyard. We worked on it all summer.
Oh, what a wonderful memory. Stories like that really show how important family connections are. Now, let's talk about how to describe your family members. It's not enough to just say, "This is my brother." You want to add details to make your description interesting.
Absolutely. You can describe what they look like, what they do, their personality, their hobbies, and your relationship with them. Let me give you an example. My older sister, Sarah, is 29 years old. She has long, curly hair and brown eyes. She works as a teacher at a primary school. She's very patient and kind, and she loves reading books in her free time.
That's excellent, Smith. You painted a complete picture of your sister. Listeners, notice how Smith included her age, appearance, job, personality, and hobbies. That's how you make descriptions come alive.
Thank you. Now, let's talk about some common phrases you can use when talking about family. Rihanna, what are some good sentence starters?
Great question. Here are some useful phrases. You can say, "I come from a big family," or "I come from a small family." You can also say, "I'm really close to my family," which means you have a strong, loving relationship with them.
Or you might say, I don't see my family very often because they live far away. This is common for people who have moved to different cities or countries for work or study.
Yes. Another useful phrase is, "We're a tight knit family." This means your family members are very close and supportive of each other. For example, "We're a tight knit family. We talk on the phone every day and visit each other every weekend."
I love that phrase. Now, let's practice talking about family gatherings. Family gatherings are when your whole family comes together, usually for holidays, celebrations, or special occasions.
Right. You might say, "We always have a big family gathering during Thanksgiving," or "My family gets together every summer for a reunion." A reunion means when people who haven't seen each other in a while come together again.
Perfect. And during these gatherings, there are usually lots of activities. You might say, at our family gatherings, we play games, eat lots of food, and share stories.
Now let's talk about some important phrases for describing relationships within your family. Sometimes you want to explain how you feel about certain family members or how well you get along with them.
Yes. For example, you might say, I get along really well with my brother. This means you have a good relationship with him, you don't fight much, and you enjoy spending time together.
Or you could say, my sister and I are very different, but we support each other. This shows that even though you're not similar, you still care about each other.
Another phrase is, my father is my role model. A role model is someone you admire and want to be like. Many people consider their parents or grandparents as role models.
That's beautiful. You could also say, my mother inspires me, or I look up to my grandfather. These all express admiration and respect.
Now let's talk about some phrases that describe family traditions. Traditions are special activities or customs that your family does regularly, usually passed down through generations.
Great topic. You might say, in my family, we have a tradition of baking cookies together every December, or it's a family tradition to go camping every summer.
I love family traditions. They create such beautiful memories. Let me share another personal story. In my family, we have a tradition that every Sunday, we all gather at my parents' house for dinner. No matter how busy we are, we make time for Sunday dinner. It's been our tradition for over 20 years.
That's so special, Smith. Those regular moments together really strengthen family bonds. Now, let's talk about how to answer common questions about your family. One question you'll hear a lot is, how many people are in your family?
Good one. You can answer by counting your immediate family. For example, there are 5 people in my family: my parents, my 2 brothers, and me. Or if you're married with children, you might say, there are 4 people in my family: my wife, our 2 children, and me.
Exactly. Another common question is, do you have any brothers or sisters? You can simply answer, yes, I have one brother, or no, I'm an only child. An only child means you have no siblings.
And people might ask, are you close to your family? You can respond, yes, we're very close. We talk every day. Or, we're close, but we don't see each other often because of distance.
Now, let's learn how to talk about what your family members do for work. This is another very common topic in conversations. You can say, my father works as a doctor, or my mother is a lawyer.
Right. Notice the 2 different structures. You can use works as plus a job, or you can use is plus a job. Both are correct. For example, my brother works as an accountant, or my brother is an accountant.
Perfect explanation. And if someone in your family is retired, which means they've stopped working because of age, you can say, my grandfather is retired, or my grandmother retired last year after working as a nurse for 40 years.
Great. Now let's talk about describing family personalities. This makes your descriptions much more interesting and personal. You can use adjectives like kind, funny, serious, outgoing, shy, generous, strict, easygoing, and many more.
Yes, for example, my father is very hardworking and serious, but he has a great sense of humor. Or, my little sister is outgoing and loves making new friends.
You can also talk about what you learned from your family members. For instance, my mother taught me to be patient and compassionate. Or, I learned my strong work ethic from my father.
Beautiful. Now, let's discuss some phrases for talking about family resemblance. Resemblance means looking similar to someone. You might hear people say, you look just like your mother, or you have your father's eyes.
Yes, you can say, I take after my father, which means you look like him or have similar characteristics. Or, my sister and I look alike, which means you look similar to each other.
Another phrase is, I'm the spitting image of my grandmother. This is an idiom that means you look exactly like someone. It's quite a strong expression of resemblance.
I love that idiom. Now, let's talk about blended families. In modern times, many families are blended, which means parents might have children from previous relationships. It's important to know these terms too.
Absolutely. A stepfather is your mother's husband who is not your biological father. A stepmother is your father's wife who is not your biological mother. And if your parents' new partner has children, they become your stepbrothers or stepsisters.
These families are just as loving and important as any other family structure. You might say, I have a great relationship with my stepfather. He's been part of my life since I was 7 years old.
Exactly. Family is about love and connection, not just biology. Now, let's talk about how to share family stories in English. Storytelling is a wonderful way to practice your English and share your culture.
Great point. When telling a family story, use past tense. Start with context, then describe what happened, and end with why it's meaningful. For example, when I was young, my grandfather used to take me fishing every Saturday morning. Those quiet mornings by the lake taught me patience and gave me precious time with him. Even now, whenever I see the lake, I think of my grandfather and smile.
What a touching story, Smith. Notice how he set the scene, described the memory, and explained its importance. That's perfect storytelling structure.
Thank you. Stories like these help people understand you better and create emotional connections. Now, as we're reaching the end of our lesson today, let's do a quick review of everything we've learned.
Perfect idea. So, today we learned about immediate family, mother, father, siblings, brothers and sisters. We learned about extended family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. We also learned about in laws and step relatives.
We learned how to describe family members using appearance, personality, jobs, and hobbies. We learned useful phrases like, I come from a big family, we're a tight-knit family, I get along well with, and I take after.
We discussed family traditions, family gatherings, and how to tell meaningful family stories. We also learned about cultural aspects of talking about family in English-speaking countries.
And remember, when you talk about your family, be natural and personal. Share real details. People love hearing authentic stories about families because everyone can relate to them.
Now, here's our question of the day. We want you to practice what you've learned today. In the comments below, tell us, who is the most important person in your family and why?
Think about someone in your family who has influenced you, who you're closest to, or who inspires you. Write 2 or 3 sentences in English, describing them and explaining why they're so important to you.
This is great practice. And when you write in the comments, you're not just practicing English, you're also connecting with other learners from around the world. You might find that you have similar family experiences with people from completely different countries.
We love reading your comments, and we try to reply to as many as we can. So please don't be shy. Share your family story with us.
Before we end today's lesson, we want to remind you that learning English is a journey. Every lesson, every new word, every sentence you practice brings you one step closer to fluency.
That's right. And talking about your family is not just about vocabulary and grammar. It's about sharing your heart, your culture, and your life with others. When you can do that in English, you open doors to friendships and opportunities all around the world.
So keep practicing. Try describing your family members to yourself in the mirror. Record yourself speaking about your family on your phone. Write about them in a journal. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes.
And remember, every family is unique and special. There's no right or wrong way to have a family. What matters is the love, support, and connections you share.
If you enjoyed today's lesson, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends who are learning English, and subscribe to The English Mind for more helpful lessons just like this one.
We post new lessons every week, covering practical English topics that you can use in real life. From everyday conversations to business English, we're here to help you improve.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. We hope you feel more confident talking about your family in English now.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. You're doing amazing.
Until next time, this is Rihana.
And Smith, saying goodbye from the English Mind. Take care, everyone.
Bye for now.